Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 5 German tank destroyer, the Stug III G. So is it any good? Yes, it's a very good tank destroyer. Basically, you had the Stug III B, a Tier 4, and this is the same tank, but it's just all round improved, and they've done a good job. It has 350 hit points, which is around, well, it's probably a little bit lower than average for a Tier 5 tank destroyer. The lowest hit points would go to the French S-35, that has 330, and the most would go to the AT-2, the British one, with 450. 350 though is a bit low, and we do get one shot from time to time in this tank, so kind of watch out for that. It weighs in at around 23-24 tonne, which makes it about average. The lightest is the T-67 at around 15 tonne, and the heaviest is the AT-2 at around about 41 tonne. So never ram that AT-2, it's too heavy. Speed wise, this thing does 40 km per hour in forward and 10 in reverse, which is the same as the Stug III B was. It's not fast, it's probably a bit slower than average, but it does have good acceleration, so it gets up to speed pretty quickly and goes pretty well up hills as well. It's really just that it doesn't have a high top speed. The fastest tank destroyer at Tier 5 is the T-67 that does 61 km in forward and 20 in reverse. And the slowest is the AT-2, which is 20 in forward and 10 in reverse. Special mention goes to the Archer, which only does 12 km an hour in forward but does 32 in reverse. Now, this still only does 10 km an hour in reverse, and that is a bit of an issue for this tank destroyer. Coming out, taking a shot, and then trying to back up to get behind cover, a rock or something like that, it is a bit slow, and you do often get hit on the way back, just like you did in the Stug III B. Track traverse, though, is really good at 47 degrees a second, and is a big improvement over the 40 degrees we had in the Stug III B. It was a problem in the Stug III B, but in the Stug III G, it's great. The fastest track traverse goes to the Panzer SFL and the Su-85I, the premium Russian tank destroyer. They both have 48. So at 47, we're close to the top track traverse, and it is good enough to, even with light tanks, when they're circling, you can pretty much keep up with them and keep your gun pointed at them. So it really does turn well, and you do notice it after being in the Stug III B. The turret traverse of 30 degrees, now not turret traverse, the gun arc, sorry, so the amount the gun can move from side to side is 30 degrees. It was 20 degrees in the Stug III B and was a real problem in the Stug III B. It's not really that much of an issue now. 30 degrees is pretty good, so you're not having to move your tracks all the time to adjust your aim, which does help quite a lot. The worst in class is the Panzer SFL that only has 10 degrees, which is a bit of a disaster. And the best, of course, are the M10 Wolverine, the T-67, because they have fully traversable turrets. View range on this tank destroyer isn't great at 310 meters. In fact, that's the Stug IV, the premium version of this, also has 310, and the Su-85 only has 280. That's the worst, but all the others are better than us, and the best in class is the M10 Wolverine with 370. So not very good view range, but it's okay. Signal range on this tank of 430 or so is the worst in class. So not great view range and pretty poor signal range, and that is a little bit of an issue. Camouflage wise though, it's very, very good. This has a camouflage rating which is probably the second best in class. The best would be the Su-85, the Russian one, and the worst would be the Panzer SFL. That thing can be seen from anywhere. Now, gun depression is not too bad. It's 7 degrees. It was 6 degrees in the Stug III B, so it's got 1 degree more, which does actually make a difference. 20 degrees of elevation and 7 degrees gun depression, so that's not bad. It's about average. The worst is the Panzer SFL and the Su-85I, the premium Russian. They both only have 5 degrees. And the best in class is the M10 Wolverine and the T-67. The two Americans both have 10 degrees of gun depression, so they are more flexible. So yeah, the 1 extra degree does make a difference though, and it's not too bad. But the main thing about this is its ability to turn well, and its ability to pump out the shots. It does have a good gun, and it does have good camouflage as well. So basically you want to take up a well camouflaged position and just keep the gun firing. Try and get 50 meters behind bushes when you can, and use the track traverse to stop light tanks from circling you. So I have a small repair kit, large first aid kit fitted in the tank. I have vents fitted, as well as a camouflage net and binoculars. That's the same as I had fitted to the Stug III B, to give you a good comparison. My crew is currently fully trained, and they all have Sisterhood of Steel, which gives an extra 5% abilities to the crew skills, and the commander also has Sixth Sense and is working on camouflage. This person also has camouflage, working on repairs. This one has camouflage, working on off-road driving, and this one has camouflage, that's working on repairs. So pretty darn good crew. Let's go into the grind for the tank. Not that it's really much of a grind, I don't think. Now the guns, you do have the old howitzer gun that was on the Stug III B, and it's also on the Hetzer as well at tier 4. I just find tier 5 it doesn't really hold up that well, so I don't bother with that gun. This is the best gun that is available. Other than that, I think I was able to go this top radio and engine pretty much straight away just because of the other German tanks I own. The tracks do take your track traverse from 39 up to the 47 degrees, so it's a huge increase, so you definitely want to get the tracks. So the gun is a 75mm gun, and it has a 13.33 rate of fire, which is not bad at tier 5. 150 mils of penetration is really good, and it does 135 damage per shot, which is also quite good. Accuracy of 0.33 is really great, and the aiming time of 1.7 is also really good. So we have here a gun that has good penetration, good rate of fire, really good accuracy, really good aiming time, and quite reasonable damage. So all up, the gun is really, really good, and it's a pretty good package to be shooting from, so long as you can stay camouflaged. Once you're spotted, it's not a great tank to be in, but so long as you can stay in camo or at least back behind cover, it's pretty darn good. And I'd say the 0.33 accuracy probably a little bit better on paper than it actually feels in the game. In the game it feels a bit more like maybe a 0.35, which is still pretty good anyway. Alright, well let's have a look in Tank Inspector, have a look at the armor, and then get into some gameplay. So Stug III G in Tank Inspector. I won't be using Tank Inspector because unfortunately with some tanks at the moment this happens when we go to the colorized view, but I will just show you the turret traverse so I can see the gun arc here. So you can see it's actually not bad. 30 degrees is pretty good. So now we'll just go into Tanks GG and have a look at the actual armor. Alright, so let's check out the armor on the Stug III G. So you can see the lower plate here is 80mm, which is not bad, and you can actually bounce quite a few shots if you get it on an angle. I find usually it's when I'm backing away. So I'm backing away and turning to go behind a rock, it works okay. Also the other thing I find is that if someone is aiming at you, is to just turn your tank just before they fire. If you kind of think that they're about to fire, just turn your tank a little bit, and a lot of the time they will hit something they weren't planning on hitting. So they might be aiming here, for example, where it's 30mm, pretty much a guaranteed pen, this upper portion of the tank. And if you just turn at the last minute, they may end up hitting your gun mantlet, or they may change their aim a little bit. It kind of can work sometimes. So yeah, the upper part here is also 80mm. Then we get into this area surrounding the driver's viewport, which is also 80mm, but the actual driver's viewport itself is only 50mm. This pink area here is spaced armor, and it's 50 overlying, 80 underneath. This area here is 30mm. This part here is 50mm. The gun mantlet is pretty strong, 50 over 50. And this area here, 80 over 20 over 20, all spaced armor. So lots of spaced armor. The actual mantlet itself, you will bounce quite a few shots if they hit it. Another bit of 80mm here, which is quite nice. And then we're back to 30 here. So if you have to shoot a Stug, do aim to the sides of the gun, but above the driver's viewports or above these flat sections. Even though they're flat, they are actually much harder to pen. Although, looking at this, I can see here it's saying ricochet just there, even though it's only 30mm. So, yeah, you know, but this is if you're at the same height as a gun. Most tanks are actually quite a bit taller than this tank, and it's not a ricochet. If you're the same height, nice and low as this tank, yeah, it's a ricochet. But most tanks, this is a very low tank, so it's even though it said ricochet on that angle, it's probably not going to ricochet. You will get some bounces though. Moving right along, side armor is only 30mm, and all the way around, do not rely on the side armor at all. Not good. The cupola area here is also 30mm. Not that anyone really targets the cupola much on these things. Rear of the tank, the very bottom here is 30. This part here is 50, which is pretty good actually. We might bounce a couple of scout tanks on an angle off the back. And this area here is 30mm. Top deck, we've got 16mm and 10mm on the roof of the tank. That's about it. Not a lot of armor. You will bounce some shots frontally. It does happen, definitely does, but it's not something that you can rely on.
Move out.
The map is Serene Coast, and it's a Tier 7 game. One of the good things about this Tier 5 tank destroyer is that whether it's a Tier 5 game or a Tier 7 game doesn't really matter that much. Because you're shooting from camouflage, you have low hit points anyway. Even Tier 5s can, some of them can one-shot you with HE and things anyway, so being one-shot by Tier 7 isn't much different. And you do rely on being a long way back, and the gun has good penetration, so you can still penetrate a lot of Tier 7, so really Tier 7 just means there's more potential hit points out there for you, in a way. Anyway, I do not intend to get close though. I don't want to be spotted, so I'm staying well back. I'll just maybe speed this up a little bit. Tank has been spotted there, but I don't have a shot on it. I'll go back to normal speed now. We might get a shot on one of these tanks. Here we go. Do we have anything? So just blind firing out there just in case that tank is still peeping over the edge there. Probably a bit too much blind firing. You can see the rate of fire of the gun is pretty darn good though. If a tank gets caught in the open, you can really rip it to pieces. Here we go. So side of a Chinu there, pretty easy to penetrate. Oh, well, that's good accuracy. Maybe it is 0.33. I think it's about 0.3. It feels like more like about 0.35 in most of the games I've played though. You do miss some clinkers with it. No, ooh, oh, almost a shot there. Not quite. I might just speed this up to 2 times. Not terribly exciting this part of the game. You definitely don't want to be spotted at the start of a Tier 7 match. Just having a look around there to see what's happening on the map. Sometimes it's easy to look at the map, other times I like to actually hold down the right mouse button and just physically have a look around. Me a better perspective on things. Nothing happening, so I'm just going to spam into some bushes. Maybe somebody's sitting there trying to spot, and we can get a hit on them. Does carry a fair bit of ammo, this tank. When I say a fair bit, I think it has about 30 rounds. Okay, so back to normal speed. Sorry about that. There's an SU-100 Tier 7 tank destroyer, and he's in a lot of trouble. And we get the final killing shot as well. So 444 damage we managed to do that guy. So we, yeah, like I said, if you get caught in the open, the rate of fire in this thing just rips him up. Go back to 2 times again. Now I'm noticing on our, if you can see the right hand side of the map there, we've got a few heavy tanks moving down. And I'll go to normal speed so you can see the speed of this tank. And yeah, it's looking like that flank's in a bit of trouble, whereas this flank looks like we've done pretty well. So I've decided to head over to the other flank and try and back them up a little bit. Then I can see this tank sitting here and see if I've got a shot on it. And I have. Is that a KV2? Oh no, it's an AT2. Well, I'm probably not going to be able to pen it, although I was getting a green indicator there. No, I've got a red indicator now. Just trying to see if I can get green on it anywhere. Someone else gets the kill on it anyway. So all we probably did was annoy him. Anyway, back to our original mission to try and shore up this flank. So you can see the tank isn't fast, but it does accelerate really well, and it turns really well. Okay, Tiger P, Tier 7 German heavy tank. And nice one there. I aimed at his cupola. I don't know if that's where it went into. Might have just gone to the side of the turret. He's turned his gun to face us now, so the front of the turret is quite a bit stronger than the side, I think. Well, it's got a mantlet anyway, and we don't manage to penetrate the front of the turret. Looks like that KV-1 is behind the rock, so I'm not going to get another shot on it. I'm just waiting for this Tiger P. I definitely don't want to be where they can see me, because Yeah, that Tiger P probably might be a 2-shot snack for him. And the thing is, once you're spotted in the open, there's pretty much no escape in these Stugs because, you know, their reverse speed is slow. So trying to back around and get behind something, you're pretty much just gonna die. You may as well just stay there and hopefully get another shot into them before you die, rather than actually trying to escape. Sometimes, of course, you just back around a rock, of course, but there are times where it just feels like you're better off just trying to get another shot in before you die. And yep, here we go. I missed. That might have been a bit of lag there. That shot seemed to land a fair way behind where I aimed. Well, you could take it either way. You can either say it was poor accuracy from the gun or it was lag, one of the two. Because it looked like it went past the turret there somewhere. Anyway. He's gone. So now I've still got this KV-1. Once again, I don't want to sit in front of a KV-1. I really want to try and get it by surprise if I can. There's another tank over there. Can we get a shot? Don't know if there was still another building between us or not, but I had to go. Oh, someone spotted again, and now it's dead. Alright. So let's see if we can get this KV-1. Right, there it is. Someone spotted it. Don't know if we spotted it or not. We have now been spotted. So better get behind this rock. And wait for the KV-1 to come to the open. He did look pretty damaged, so it might be only a 1 or 2 shot kill. We might be able to do it. Oh! Artillery lands just next to us. Does 153 damage. That wasn't nice. And tracked us. That's our first damage for the game. Here comes the KV-1. We're lucky someone else has spotted him. We know where he is. So I'm just going to try and wait for him to come into my aim. Yeah, he never even saw it coming. How he didn't know I was there after I must have been spotted and hit by artillery. But yeah, he didn't. Anyway, that's good. Now there's only one tank left on the enemy team, and I don't get there in time. So that's it. So ended up being a class 1 badge in the game, in the tank, I think mainly because it was tier 7s who were shooting at most of the time. Let's have a look at the next screen. And we finished 3rd for XP, not a bad effort. And damage wise, well, we were up there. We fired 26 shots, 15 of those hit, and of the 15 hit, 10 penetrated. We wasted a lot of shots on the AT2, I think, some of those bounces. We did 1,279 damage, which is not bad at that tier, and you can see here nearly all of it was from long range, except for that KV-1 and a couple other shots. Damaging 6 tanks, destroying 3, a little bit of assistance damage as well. Tank is quite profitable, and 729 XP was enough for a class 1 in the tank.
Let's go.
This time is a tier 6 game, and the map is Melanovka. Since we started here, I'm going to go to my favourite little TD spot, which has very good concealment. So yeah, quite a few tier 6s in the game. Oh, actually not quite a few. There's only 3 tier 6s on the enemy team, and most of the rest of the tanks are tier 5, and it's one. We've got 2 tier 4s. They've got 1 tier 4. And straight away we can see a Crusader here. I put a shot into him, to his turret. He's trying to get some cheeky spots there. And you can see I wasn't even spotted. This is a very good spot because it's multiple layers of concealment. And our friend there on the left in a similar spot but not concealed. And of course we also have very good camouflage, and I have a camouflage net fitted. And you can see there I held off firing until my camouflage net was activated, because I did have to move my tracks to adjust my aim, and then I waited till my camouflage net reset before I fired, just to make sure I had the maximum camo. Not managing to penetrate that AT2 there, even in the side, so I left it alone for now. The OI Experimental, different scenario, OI Experimental, as you've seen from my review of it, doesn't actually have very good armor. Has a great gun, but its armor is actually no big deal. It's not as good as a KV-1 even. The OI, the one after that's a different story, that has quite good armor. The OI Experimental you can pretty much tear up with this TD. However, it can also one-shot us with a HE shell, so... And that is... I thought... Is that a T-34? There's the OA experimental. Oh, looks like we've got tanks. Oh, there's tanks coming all over the joint here. Okay, here's on the other side of the hill, but there's a tank here. VK. Out in the open, you can see the great accuracy here. Don't know if I hit him with that. I might have fired a little bit late. Which makes me wonder if that was a bit of lag, because don't know why I would have fired that late. We've got to leave him for now because we've got tanks in front of us. No. They are capping, so... Oh, he's gone out of cap again. Oh, here we go. We've got a shot here on this... Is that the French heavy tank? The G1R or whatever it's called, that newish one. Uh-oh, we've got bigger problems here. That missed somehow. I'll probably do a blind shot now. How the guys up top there are not shooting this guy? Oh well. Alright, so get one in. One more shot could almost kill this guy, so I'm going to try for it. Yep. Now I've got to run. I've been spotted, and you can see how slow the reverse is. We bounced the Hetzer, very lucky. I'm weaving my tank just to encourage a miss, and just to encourage them if they're trying to get my side, they might hit my front. Can't believe I didn't get owned just then. Now, you can see a tank trying to pop over the horizon here. This is 82. I want to see if I can get a shot into it on the way over. Don't know if we can actually penetrate it, but not sure why. Like, when I look up there, you can see it plain as day, but when I had my gun on it, I couldn't actually get a shot on it. So I don't know exactly what was happening there. I may have to move back in this position so I can do my own spotting, since no one's really being able to spot for me at the moment. Can we get this guy? Yeah. Oh, he's dead. Okay. There it is. And whoa, maybe the upper plate. I'm going to try for the cupola. It looks like we actually hit the cupola, but it just bounced off. Somehow we didn't get spotted when that happened. It must have a terrible view range, the AT2. I'm not sure. I've never driven it. Anyway, I'm madly now trying to get away. He's going the other side of the hill. Fortunately, he's not very quick, so he's decided to go the other side of the hill. And I can kind of avoid him for now. But I have to be careful. Ooh, there's a chaffy just up here. Damn, he did spot me. We get one into the chaffy, which is kind of nice. But we're in trouble. Crusaders hit me with a gold round. Oh, what's Crusader? Is he tier 4? No, he's not. He's tier 5, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know why he's shooting gold rounds. Well, let's face it. Half the people on SCA server shoot gold rounds. Well, no, they don't. But I do get hit almost every game I play these days. Somebody hits me with a gold round. Back into our spot, and we're waiting again. I might speed this up a little bit. You can see we're in big trouble. We only have 4 tanks left, and they have 7, I think, is it? Yeah. I'm going to speed this up to 2 times now. Let's go to 4 times. Slow back to normal speed again. Crusader is up there. I don't appear to have a shot on the Crusader at the moment. Speed it up to 2 times again. Back to normal speed. Do we have a shot? Nope. Back to 2 times speed. Oh, here we go. Normal speed. Okay. Oh, we've been spotted. The chaffy. Now the chaffy's shooting us with gold as well. Gets a couple of hits into me. I'm running, trying to get downhill out of his line of sight, and hopefully keep myself camouflaged. Now the Chaffee can't see me because of those trees, so we might get another shot now on this. Is that a Hetzer? Wow, it looked like a Wolverine or something that was driving along there. I'll fire a couple of rounds out there. I know I'm covered from the Chaffee, but now I've got to run the Crusaders on the hill. And it's just... Okay, our KV2, I think it was, whatever it was, just died. So it's just me and this OE here. Now, why this OE is down here, I don't know. Not a good spot for a blind heavy tank. Don't know what caused him to end up being there. Not really a good spot. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm expecting that Hetzer to come rushing through here at some stage to try and shoot the OE in the back. So what I'm trying to do now is get an advanced vision up here. I'm going to pick a bush just up here somewhere and hide and try and spot so that the OE will see the Hetzer before the Hetzer shoots him. So I'll probably just stop in this tree up here. That way I can see, hopefully see the cappers. Uh-oh. I've been spotted. Someone's shooting at me. And there's the Hetzer. And the Crusader hits me with another gold round and I'm dead. And I don't think our OE is going to last very long, although he does get the shot of the Hetzer, so that part worked. I bet we didn't get any spotting damage for it though. So yes, we got smashed. Class 2 badge though, and we did manage to get high caliber as well. So we finished on top for XP on our team, but not of course in the game since we lost. We did far and away the most damage on our team though, doing 1460 something, and the next best was the Bishop. Artillery did 700, so oh no, T67 did 734. Wow. We sucked. And the other team did quite well. The top two players there were the two that were spamming gold rounds, which is disappointing, but there you go. And we fired 22 shots, 14 hits, so we missed a lot of shots. Of the 14 hit, 11 penetrated, which is really good considering it was tier 6. And we did 1467 damage. Half of that was from long range. Received 6 hits. We managed to bounce 2 hits, so you can bounce hits with this tank. Spotted 2 vehicles, damaged 7, destroying 1. And a little bit of assistance damage as well. As you can see, oh, we did get courageous resistance. Okay, so that would have helped our income a little bit. And that would have also helped XP. So our real XP ended up being 670, which was a class 2 in the tank. Thank you for watching my review of the Tier 5 German tank destroyer, the Stug III G. Hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.